Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently making our way through this territory out over here. We need, of course, influence to make that happen, and we're also working on replenishing our alloy supply after getting all of this remaxed. Now we're close to getting our fleets remaxed at this point. This fleet here is, I think, a fake fleet. It's currently missing in action its Trumroke class corvettes. I'm just going to disband it. The adapted swarm needs to be worked on. We're working on the refined swarm right now. Okay, cool. Now down over here, we are prepared to take Viriac. We're actually building the star base there now. And we're building our mining stations in Ain at this moment. Let's tick on forward at a relatively high speed, the fastest speed that the game will allow, in fact. And we'll see if we get Conglomerate, but that is what we are devoting our next chunk of influence towards. We'll see if that happens, though. I do want to go through our jobs here while we're waiting. We've got Zoltan Prime here. This is an agri-world. Okay, we could definitely build a pair of agriculture districts here. Actually, a trio? A trio of agriculture districts. Cool. What else do we need? Ooh, hello. Where did that go? Jaundice Prime. Okay, so this is an agri-world as well. Actually, that's fine. I think we're going to need a few extra agri-worlds as we get our new worlds online. So putting in a food processing facility and some agriculture districts here, as well as clearing out these tile blockers, does make some level of sense here. Cool. So let's get that going. We've got a foundry station here, and we could certainly upgrade our civilian fabricators. We could upgrade our synergy forum and build a pair of industrial districts there. That'll max that out for the time being. I'm actually going to do this unpaused because the game is so much smoother when it's unpaused. So, or rather when it is paused. So let's go through this real quickly here. There's actually not a lot needed. That's actually it. Wow, okay, cool. So that was all of it. Mildly surprising, but sure, we'll take it. So we can continue to reinforce our fleets here. According to this, we need 38,000. Is that accurate? I know it was getting low. I didn't think it was that low, though. Did I accidentally delete one of our fleets?
Upscaling complete.
I don't think so. We're at 20 out of 20 Titans, and our non-Titanic fleets are... We have, I think, 3 of those, right? 1, 2, and... maybe it was only 2. Yeah, because these are Titanic fleets. These are non-Titanic fleets. So we have 22 total fleets. Pulling up a calculator here, 22 times 210 is 4620. No, that's right. That is correct. I remember that number. This number is not 4620, though, but it is going to be 4620. So we'll get this continually reinforced here. The refined swarm is basically done, and we're heavily working on the adapted swarm now. That is the final fleet here. That's great. And here in Viriac, we, of course, want to build our mining and research stations. And as soon as we're done in Ain, we're heading down to Conglomerate. We'll see if we manage to get it. We're at 41 influence right now. Actually, I'm going to move down here preemptively after we're done with this mining station, or maybe even right now. Right now. Stop your orders. Come on down here. We don't have time to fill this out before we're going to get enough influence. So we're going to fly down here. If we want to get Conglomerate, we have to move. Oh, I see a construction ship in here. We might not get this at all. Anytime we can load in, that would be great. Yep. Okay. It's very laggy here still. We're not going to get Conglomerate. That is out of the question. So, in that case, we need to be grabbing these. And with that being the case, I kind of regret ordering the stop construction there. Yeah, I didn't see this construction ship buried in here, unfortunately, until just now. So, I mean, I guess we don't get the lag system, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I maybe don't want the lag system. We're down to 2,300 alloys needed at this point. We're very, very close to getting this done. And we're going to be passing our naval capacity soon. There we go. We're passing it now. So that's fine for the time being. Oh, we want to get this barren world terraforming over to a desert world. Let's get that underway right now. Did that accept? Now it did. Okay, cool. So we're almost ready to start stockpiling alloys again. And by stockpiling alloys, I mean spending them on megastructures for now. Caravaneers are leaving. Oh, okay, that's to be expected. That does cost us some influence, but that's fine. Cool. So 4620, huh? That's really not too bad, all things considered. Really, really not too bad. Month tick is a little ways out here. But once we're done in Viriac, we'll head into Lendula. And once we're done in Ain, we'll head into Stimsis. And we'll just look to take over these 4 systems instead. Sad that we don't get Conglomerate, but we did get 2 extra worlds out of this. So, all things considered, that's fine. I'm not too concerned about it, I think. Let's get our fleets upgrading again here. Oh, we're so close to maxing this out. Next month tick, our fleets get maxed out. Beautiful. How are we doing on dark matter? We have 2.2k left. We've definitely worked through our dark matter stores. And now, finally, the Praethoran Scourge is gone. The galaxy breathed a collective sigh of relief today, as the last significant pockets of the Praethoran Scourge were expunged. I don't know where they were, technically. The extragalactic invasion has failed, and all that remains of the Praethoran's once colossal swarm are the innumerable charred husks that now drift quietly through the void. A sense of elation and utter joy is spreading across the galaxy at a speed greater than light, and spontaneous victory celebrations, I almost said spontaneous, and that is not how you say that, have erupted on countless worlds. Could this be the beginning of a new age of galactic peace and stability? Well, no, obviously. But those critters were bad for business, and we're going to get a bunch of unity out of that. Beautiful. We just hit 1 million unity. That's a lot of unity. So we have access to a Harmony Ascension perk here. Or not an Ascension perk, a Harmony Tradition. And what do we want to grab? Pop to Motion Time? Pop to Motion Time is really attractive right now. We have a lot of pops that need to be demoted. We can grab another. That seemed a lot cheaper than I expected it to be. This said 640k, and it only took like 230? This is saying 700k. So we'll see. Governing ethics, attraction, and crime reductions sound great. That's saying it costs 700k. And it did. That one did cost 700k. So maybe it was rounding. It must have been rounding. Well, while we're at it, I want to check in on our relics here and see if we can celebrate diversity. We cannot, but we can sell to private collectors. We can find peaceful applications for right now, which would be great. We can just go for raw happiness. Yeah, do it. And we can reverse engineer an arcane technology. Cool, 10% research speed. Sounds phenomenal. So that's all looking good. And yeah, they're starting to close borders to us again. No shockers. We'll see if they end up declaring war on us again. So far, the Galactic Information Entente has declared war on us like approximately 278 times. I know that that's not the real number, but it feels like the real number. Let's get that last little bit queued up. This is saying 4643. That's probably due to... Yeah, this would be a little higher due to our Juggernaut. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they're all closing their borders to us. This is deeply unsurprising. And also not really a problem. So we don't get Conglomerate. We do want to start working on megastructures. I'm going to do the Matter Decompressor and Dyson Sphere, I think, first. Yeah, the rest of these are pretty much all mega art installations or a mega shipyard. So let's get the very boring Matter Decompressor going. Phenomenal. And I also, if we're going to be doing this, I want to be hopping over. We can potentially ditch the Forge subsidies temporarily, and we can turn on, instead, of course, Architectural Renaissance. So we'll get that going. And that, of course, means that I want to get this partial Dyson Sphere upgrading as well. We're at 75% capacity at this moment. 4620? Beautiful. Oh, and we finished up a research. Right. That is fleet command limit, so we can actually expand our fleets further now. That's exciting. We're going to grab monthly unity here for the time being. And we do need to take these locations. So that's where our influence is going to be going for now. We're going to be done in Ain relatively shortly, and in Viriac relatively shortly as well. The partial Dyson Sphere, does that take priority right now over upgrading our fleets again? Potentially for the time being, since we are over our fleet cap.
Blocker liquidated.
Yeah, I think for right now that does make sense. So next month tick, we can get this partial Dyson Sphere going. That'll be great. And then once we have, well, we can get 3 of these going. So we should actually do this right now, since this is artifacts. Get that going. We don't pay alloys for that. That's wonderful. That's alloys. That is artifacts, but we don't have the artifacts to get that going just yet. Same with that. Okay, cool. So our partial Dyson Sphere, we are going to get that upgrading. And now we should go through and take ourselves up to 220. So the question is, how do we want to go to 220? Well, actually, I made a spreadsheet a while back to figure out what composition I wanted. And let me just plug this straight on into that. So we want, at this point... this is saying downsizing our battleship numbers. Okay, hang on. That's not actually the route I want to go. I think all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take us to 25 destroyers and then put the rest into corvettes. So this will be like up to 29 of each of these. Something like this. Yeah, that seems reasonably fine. So this will be mildly tedious to do. Yeah, there's not really an amazing way to do this. So, definitely mildly tedious. We should not be paused while doing this, that's for sure. And we'll just have to go through like 22 of these. It's definitely sad. I wish there was a way to copy a template onto an existing template. That'd be really convenient. Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, that doesn't work. It just creates a new fleet with the existing template. And you have to manually modify these. Now, this guy moved into Lendula, so let's get that building. There we go. And in the meantime, of course, we'll continue to work through these. So this needs to be at 25. And autosave. Okay. We'll bump this up to 29. Cool. I like how I made a spreadsheet for this and then just completely ignored it. That's very helpful. Complete. Cool. We just finished up over here in Ain. We don't have the influence to queue up Stimsys just yet, so we'll come back to that. So that's the stacked swarm done, and we do have a few more of these to go. We're going to need to get rid of this fleet. It's not a real fleet, but we just finished stacked swarm. We're going to take these up as well. Cool. That was a couple too many, actually. There we go. It's just... it takes a bit to register the inputs while we have the game unpaused like this, which is mildly sad. But it's okay. So once again, we're doing the same thing for the non-Titanic fleets. Okay, cool. I think this is probably the fastest way to do it, potentially. No, not 29 here. 25. There we go. This is the last one, so that's good. 30, 29, and 29. Perfect. So that's going to be about 45,000 alloys to get that all done. We'll get that underway. We've got 25,000 right now. Okay. That's a good chunk of them, anyway. We're going to be grabbing Stimsys shortly on the next month tick. And we've got all of those going on. Perfect. So that's all looking good for now. Of course, once we're done with this land grab, our influence is going to start going into orbital rings again. That is going to be the idea at that point. And that's going to be a decent amount of alloys. The real question is war going to break out between our federations again? We're not really in a position to do anything to start that. So we'll see. Month tick is occurring, and we'll build our Stimsys starbase. Perfect. And with the remainder of the alloys, we'll get our fleets reinforcing. Our fleets are getting impressive,
complete.
Actually. Rather impressive. We'll build our mining stations in Lendula, and then we'll head into Marinius. And then in Stimsis, of course, we'll build our mining stations there and head into Parabin. That'll be the idea. So we need about 120 total influence. Probably closer to like 130.
Liquidated.
Something along those lines. Let's go through while we're waiting and take a look at jobs. Oh, hello. That lag spike was awkward. I did see some jobs up here. What do we got? Okay. Sky Temple. Cool. So we need a job here on Sky Temple, and this is really more of a agra/mining world. It's a little awkward, but we can put in an agriculture district and a food processing center here. That's fine. This is set up as an agri world. I feel like we're overbuilding agriculture right now. I'm going to put in a couple of strongholds here. We need to work on our naval cap. Okay. So what else do we have going on here? We've got an urban world here, and I suppose we can just upgrade this administrative park. Seems absolutely fine. Any other jobs that we need? Yes. A forge world here, and this forge world has a lot of room for expansion. Let's put in... Well, we can upgrade this alloy nanoplant, and we can put in an industrial district as well for the time being. That'll do. What else do we have? Well, we've got a research station here, and this is as good as it's going to get. So we need to resettle off of here. We need to take this, if I can grab. There we go. Yeah, 25 available jobs on Epsilon Cygni Prime. We'll head on over there. That robot becomes a farmer. Beautiful. So that'll go away.
Blocker
no problem
liquidated.
whatsoever there. What do we have going on down through our jobs over here? So far, it looks like nothing. And yeah, that's actually straight up nothing. Cool. I like it. So we should be able to get the remainder of our fleet purchases requisitioned. Just getting rid of all of that. Yeah, no fleets are in need of reinforcements after we get these going. Perfect. So that'll be fine.
Upscaling complete.
And we just got Stimsis taken over, so we'll get the mining and research stations built there, and then we'll head up into Parabim. Perfect. So that's all looking wonderful. At this point, we can start stockpiling our alloys. We are over our naval cap, which is painful. No doubt about that. We can think about doing something about it. We're at 44.45 right now. We could certainly get some anchorages going. We're 57 out of 65 starbase cap. So if we were to look for some of these things, like this location here, right? Maradetta. We built this as an anti-piracy location. But we could certainly make this into an anchorage. We've got a station out over here which exists entirely as a detection array. I don't feel like that's necessary. I'm going to swap this into being an anchorage. There we go, and I want this to be a naval logistics office. Cool, so that'll be underway for a bit. This is an anchorage here, but it's not an efficient one. We can certainly build 3 additional anchorage points here. We can also build a naval logistics office. This is set up as an anchorage, but we can build 2 additional anchorages in it. This is okay. This is fine for now. Yep. Looks good. Looks good. We could certainly replace this detection array with an anchorage. Each one of these is going to bring this up by 6, right? So that's going to be decent. We can certainly get 2 additional anchorages here. This looks fine for now. Crime boss, yeah, that's okay. And then I'm expecting pretty much all of these to be okay.
Station under assault.
Yeah. Okay, we've got pirates in Astarte. We'll deal with that in a moment. I'm trying to pause the game here. Okay, there we go. Let's check through the rest of these anchorages. Oh, hello. What was that? Detection array. Get out of here. We're going to put in an anchorage then. Any others? Nope, that looks good for now. Okay, we've got these trade hubs. We've got these bastions. I'm not too concerned about all that right now. These guys are out in Astarte. Okay. Looks good. So we'll just pop our cash facilitate victory out over into Astarte. No problem whatsoever there. We're going to be done in Lendula fairly soon. We can definitely queue up our starbase here on the next month tick. Stimsys is going to be working for a while on mining stations over here. So that'll be a bit. We're relatively fine with that. Just waiting on this month tick. Any moment now. We're on the 30th. There we go. So we're going to build our starbase right out over here in Marinius. The Lendula mining station is done, and we're building our starbase there. So this is all we're going to grab out of the Prothoran Scourge land grab. We need to keep in mind a couple of things. One, there should be a third endgame crisis on the way. And two, we might be declared on by the other Federation, although we're far stronger than we've ever been in the past. I think it's a little bit less likely that they end up doing that. I think they shouldn't do it, but we'll see what they think. They may or may not be down for that sort of a war. But, I mean, looking at this, it's looking a lot more painful for them.
Blocker liquidated.
Now, this is not, like, maximized, right? We're not at 9999 naval cap. But it's definitely a lot more painful for them. No doubt about that one. So we can start spending alloys on a lot of different things. We can spend alloys on... Why are you not docked up? You should be docked up. Reducing your maintenance by 25%. That would be nice. Okay, the rest of them are docked. So that's all looking good. And you're docked now too. Perfect. We can spend them on orbital rings as well, but that is also an influence expenditure.
Research
and we can, of course,
actualized.
spend them on upgrading megastructures. What do we want here? Probably, at this point, shield hit points. That'll be great. Cool. So Marinius is going to be under control shortly. Stimsys still has a ways to go. It actually might be this construction ship that builds Emploribim. We'll see. We will see. We can definitely think about spending our alloys on things like defensive platforms for our stations. That's definitely an option. We may want to think about putting in things like defense grid supercomputers, even in anchorages. Because we're going to be building a lot of things up until the time of the next war, right? So we've got like this station here that we can upgrade. That's fine. And this is going to become an anchorage. So let's put in a bunch of anchorages here. Sadly, this is going backwards here instead of forwards, but whatever. We'll put that in like so, and a naval logistics office for now. We could also toss in here simply a defense grid supercomputer. That'll be fine for the time being. And the idea behind that would be just inflict damage on the enemies when they come in.
Research actualized.
The hierarchy insulted us. Hilarious. We love it. And at this point, honestly, look at how cheap armor hit points is. We'll take that. Beautiful. Apparently that's not been worked on for a while. This anchorage over here, we'll put in a defense grid supercomputer. Where is it? Up here. Beautiful. And this anchorage already has one.
Complete.
So we could simply put in something like a disruption field generator to cut down their shields. I like it. This anchorage, we would need a defense grid supercomputer. This one, we would need a defense grid supercomputer as well. So this is all in preparation for putting in just a crazy amount of defense platforms, right? That would be the idea here. So this would be a disruption field generator, probably. Something along those lines. We've got the Nagiro station over here. This is going to upgrade to Citadel. We may as well queue up a defense grid supercomputer. Of course, we're not spending alloys right now faster than they're coming in, right? That's definitely not a thing that we're doing. I would like to... These are all anchorages and then a defense grid supercomputer. What are we lacking here? It's saying that we're lacking a module and/or building. Oh, in Anchorage. Okay, there we go. Cool. So that's all fine, right? We don't have any problems with any of that. Checking in down on this side over here. How are we doing in Stimsys? We've still got some work to do. In Marinius, we need to build our mining and research stations, of course. We'll get those under control. We've got a bunch of orders still in Stimsys, so no problem there right now. This bastion is apparently not connected to our trade network. Okay. Now it is. Cool. And I don't know if these actually need to be upgraded. I think this is that ghost upgrade effect that we've been having a problem with. We're lacking living metal for these. Okay, we're going to have to do something about that for sure. So we're going to go into our ship designer, and we're going to need to remove our living... We don't have a source of living metal. So we're going to need to remove our living reactive armor here. And this is supposed to be reactive armor, not living reactive. That is technically an obsolete component, but we need to run that. And that's probably why we couldn't upgrade those, actually. Maybe not. Regardless, we can queue them up now. Cool. Wait, that one did upgrade. It took 2 days.
Upscaled.
And that seemed to actually work. Oh, now it is working. Okay, beautiful. So that's absolutely wonderful. We are putting in a single ion cannon currently. We should probably put in 2. Okay, so we're going to put in 2 ion cannons at each of these bastions. We can have 102 defense platforms? That's insane. That is absolutely insane. So we could definitely crank these up a lot.
Ships upscaled.
Put in a pair of ion cannons here. This is going to actually be spending down our alloys somewhat. We do need to sell minerals. We're full on that. And we're going to be full on energy credits very soon. I'm actually going to use this to store up dark matter. We're going to need dark matter and a lot of it. So there we go.
Ships upscaled.
Now, where were we over here? Unfortunately, it doesn't actually show. The Vernier station is apparently not connected to the trade network. Let's connect that right on in. There we go. Cool. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to work our way through some of these defense platforms here and get some of that actually dealt with. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Rogue Corvid, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.